you're watching World Talks on TVP World. My name is Sascha Fahrbach. Earlier this week, Poland's largest ever economic mission to Saudi Arabia wrapped up with a series of meetings, memoranda, and political signals. Now, Poland's finance minister, Andrzej Domański, arrived in the kingdom at the invitation of the Saudi investment minister with a delegation which included over 70 companies. As Warsaw deepens its Gulf outreach, we'll ask about what was agreed and how Poland positions itself amid intensifying European competition in the region. Joining us now is Marcin Styszyński, Assistant Professor, Department of Arabic and Islamic Studies at the Adam Mickiewicz University in Poznań. Good to have you with us. Good morning. Let's look at the bigger picture here. How would you characterize this visit by the Minister of Economics? Is this a tangible success, and what was achieved here?
Good morning, and thank you for having me. Yes, as you mentioned, the visit and some results of this visit is quite optimistic, and we can observe some reinforcement of bilateral relationship between Poland and Saudi Arabia. Just to mention, a couple of weeks ago, we had the visit of Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Faisal bin Farhan, who met with his counterpart in Poland. We have also very good cooperation between parliamentary group, Polish parliamentary group, and Shura Council, which is also the counterpart of our parliamentary. So this volume of bilateral relations is quite optimistic. It should be noted as well that the trade volume between both countries is estimated at around 9 billion USD. However, we must add that the most reflects imports from Saudi Arabia to Poland, and only 8 million USD is our export of Polish goods to Saudi Arabia. Mm-hmm. So it shows that Minister Domański mentioned is that Poland tries to achieve better results in this field, especially with this trade exchange between the two countries. So that's why, as you mentioned, we have 70 companies, private companies from different sectors, including IT, energy, agriculture, and etc. So hopefully this relationship in different fields will accelerate and reinforce in different levels. However, we also must mention about some challenges to not be so optimistic about cooperation. There are some challenges, and we must take into consideration different risks, especially with Middle Eastern countries.
Okay, and I also want to talk about some days before as well. I mean, this trip also then had the German chancellor in the region as well. That's also something that was on the radar. This Polish visit came a few days after that. So are these two trips in any way, are they complementary? Is this some kind of, in your mind, alignment of Poland and Germany and the EU, or are these more competitive in terms of these two trips?
It's a very good question, especially that indeed Chancellor Merz visited the region, visited the Gulf, but he focused actually on the United Arab Emirates, especially, and cooperation with this country. So you mentioned important question, because indeed Saudi Arabia competes in different levels with the EU degree as just a couple of weeks ago we have some tensions even between GCC countries, not only economically but also politically, regarding the conflict in Yemen, regarding the conflict in Sudan, including some domination in the Red Sea. So that's not only economic perspective, but we should take into consideration as well political competitions, we can say.
Okay. I want to also jump to a question. As you mentioned, various companies were accompanying the actual Mr. Domański, the economic minister. Now, the World Defense Show was also happening at this same time and coincided with this visit. Now, we have big players in defense. Saudi Arabia is a big buyer. In some way or in any way here, do you see Polish companies capture some of that demand from Saudi Arabia?
I'm not a military expert, so I can't say a lot about this. But however, you are absolutely right that Saudi Arabia is one of the main players in the military sector in the region, and it coordinates different operations, military operations in the region. Just to mention Yemen, but also some operations against terrorist groups in the region. So indeed, and of course, our companies can benefit from this circumstances or conditions. But it depends, of course, on particular needs, local needs in Saudi Arabia, and of course, other economic and trade conditions.
And it's also interesting because we have now more exposure of Poland as a brand ever more known across the world. In your perception, like, how is the actual outlook from Saudi Arabia? How do they view Poland, not just as a political state, but also the economic connection, brand Poland? How is that perceived locally there in Saudi Arabia?
That's also a very good question, because indeed that's one of the main challenges, I think, in Poland, because of course we can just mention our good view regarding Polish mountains. Zakopane is very famous within Saudi and Gulf citizens, but however I think we need a long-term perspective and any kind of diplomatic or economic view in this field, especially to promote our brands and to promote good knowledge of Poland. I'm not sure if we have this policy and this approaches, or because sometimes we can observe that some visits are quite accidental, and then some local countries like Saudi Arabia forgets about this relationship. So I think we need a long-term policy regarding our economic, political, including security and military cooperation with the region, with the Middle East, of course.
I also want to ask you, I mean, it's still a ways away, the G20. Now, Saudi Arabia is a member. Poland has been invited. That summit is going to take place in Miami later in the year. Now, I want to come back to the invitation, because this invite to Domański was actually raised by the Saudis. So the Saudis invited Poland. In your sense, is there any indication of more cooperation, seriousness? How close are these countries going to now cooperate, going and leading up to the G20?
Yes, indeed. The concept or the G20 structure was mentioned during the visit of Minister Domański. It was one of the main components during bilateral talks. So Saudi Arabia will take into, of course, it's taking into consideration this aspect because this invitation to the structure of the G20 plays an important role, not only locally in Europe and in Poland, but also globally. So this question and this aspect will be beneficial for our country, including Saudi Arabia, because there are some conditions, some perspectives, common perspectives within this organization. So it could be beneficial for both sides. And Saudi Arabia takes into consideration this aspect.
All right, so it seems it is a nod to more Poland on the global stage. Thanks for all those insights. Really appreciate it. That was Professor Marcin Styszyński from Poznan. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching. That concludes World Talks. We'll stay right here on TVP World for more news and commentary. Goodbye.